community events as far as possible. And it is my great pleasure today to have been part of the inaugurating people of this expo. I wish this expo great success, and I thank the workers of Jiba Dar es Salaam and volunteers without whose efforts this could not have been materialized. I also thank all the exhibitors for having taken the booth here and exhibiting their products, and I hope that they will benefit by this exhibition. So with those few words, I thank you, Junaid, for honoring me, and thank you, all of you, and Khuda Hafiz.
Asante sana mzee. I will switch to Kiswahili. Karibuni jamani. Karibuni Jibex 2024. Mwenyekiti wa Jiba, nashukuru kukaribisheni wote na kutakieni kila laheri kwenye hii expo. Kwa sababu muda si rafiki, tunaomba tuendelee na shughuli yetu. Without any further ado, I will hand the mic back to MJ, one of our executive members behind Jibex 2024. MJ, please take it over. In the absence of MJ being here, we will take the Jibex team leader, Jibex 2024, who will introduce the next speaker. Karibuni.
Assalamu alaikum. Asanteni kuja kwenye Jibex 24, the first one for the year in Tanzania. And I'm hoping that mtapata kusherekea na wadau wetu hapa, and you guys do business. The theme of this Jibex Expo is to facilitate business between members, between businesses, and that's how we can grow ourselves and grow our country. So for that, asanteni sana. Okay, so I would like to introduce an international motivator, speaker, entertainer. He's just got here late last night, and I know he's ready with the vest coat because I just wear a kandura. So I'd like to introduce Dr. Mahmoud Mauji. Please come. However I introduce him, I will not do justice to him, so I will let him speak, and you will know why he is here. Doctor.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for the invite. Super blessed to be here with each and every one of you. And we're going to keep this one really short because I know we want to start having a look around all the stalls, getting everything moving. My role here, so I am the founder and the CEO of a business performance company. Could we get the sound up on the? Could we get the sound up on the mic a little? Thank you. So I am the founder and the CEO of a company called Brilliant Beyond Belief. We're a business performance company globally, and I wanted to be able to come here and share with you some thoughts on how you can hopefully really enhance this whole event, but also to be able to really grow your business. The way I look at it, each and every business, there are 3 stages for each and every business. And each and every business has an S-curve. This part down here is the initiation part, where you're either starting, you're thinking of something, or it's about to grow. Then you have an acceleration phase, which is over here. And this is the point where things are going really well, profits are coming in, everything, like you're like, wow, this is, and it's like the part where you're on the rocket ship, and you're really pushing hard, but everything's working. And then there's the next part over here, which is the plateau phase. And this is where things are doing well, but you know inside of you that there's so much more than what you're doing right now. You know there's that potential. You know there's more potential in you. You know there's more potential in your team. And you know there's a lot more juice in your business, but it's like, how do we extract it? What I found working with hundreds, thousands of people over the last few years is most people get stuck on this phase. And what they try and do is they try and stretch this plateau phase out and out and out. There's different strategies for where you are in your business. If you're over here or you're over here, they're very different strategies to what you use when you're over here. And also, every business as it evolves, innovation, there's a new S-curve, a new S-curve, a new S-curve. The journey over the next few days here, inshallah, with us, is that I can hopefully spend a lot of time individually with you and a collective to figure out where you are in your business, in your life, see where you are and how we can get you towards your S-curve, how we can get you back over here in the acceleration phase, because each and every one of you are here because you want to meet more people, make more connections, grow your business, and make more money. Is that correct? Yes or no? Let's try then. Yes or no? Okay, each and every one of you are here because you want to be able to make more. A story which I got told ages ago, which I still share where I speak around the world right now, is there was this one person who wanted to be a lumberjack. And what a lumberjack is someone who wants to cut down trees. So he actually went to a lumberjack and he said, can you teach me how to cut down trees? He said, that's fine. And so the lumberjack gave him an axe. He said, you're going to cut down trees, and for the next 5 days, tell me how many trees you cut. So the first day he cut down 10 trees, second he cut down 8, third he cut down 7. By the time the 4th day came, he could only cut 1 tree. He went back to the lumberjack and said, do you know what? I don't think this job is for me. I'm not strong enough, I'm not fit enough, I can't do it. The lumberjack said, hold on, did you sharpen your axe? He said, no, I didn't have a chance to sharpen my axe. What I was doing is I was cutting down trees all the time. And I feel that that analogy can be brought into our life sometimes. That's a lot of the time, what we're doing is we're spending our time doing a lot of the work. But how much time do we take out at an event like this to be able to sharpen our axe, meet new people, make new connections, learn new strategies, so then we can go back into our businesses and really, really be able to make them fly? Because is there anyone here, and I'm hoping no one puts a hand up, who doesn't want to do better? I'm sure everyone here, right, wants to do better. So a little bit about me and how this journey started for me. So I was a dentist, hence the doctor before my name, and I practiced dentistry for 14 years in the UK, had a couple of clinics. And sometimes in your life, has anyone ever felt that they've got more in them, but they don't know how to make the most of it? Raise your hands if you did. Anyone felt like that before? Okay, so I was really like that. Normally in life, what happens is, I call it the 3 Ds. Only when the 3 Ds happen do we change our life. Number 1 is death. Not your own death, but someone close to you, okay? Number 2, a diagnosis, where you get diagnosed with something like, oh my God, like things now really have to change. It's a shock. Or the third one is a divorce, where like, you know, there are those shocks in life, the 3 Ds. And when one of those 3 Ds happen, that's normally when we take action. What I want to be able to do is make sure that no one in this room has to suffer from any of those 3 Ds before they do anything. So my father passed away in 2016. When my father passed away, that was the shock for me. I was really, really unhappy in my job, in my career. I was doing really well. I was earning a lot of money. Dentists in the UK, you know, can make a lot. So I was earning a lot, but I was very, 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 very unhappy. But there's this thing, right, that life only changes when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of changing. Because normally, the pain of changing is very, very hard. To change yourself is really hard. Easier to stay the same. But when the pain of staying the same becomes harder than the other one, that's when things start happening in your life. So for me, that's when things started happening. I remember, and you know, for me, I'm very godly, and I remember God saying that when you want to change, the place you have to go to is the thing which you find the hardest. So when I was younger, I wasn't able to speak. I had a stutter. I used to get bullied in school. And my first business started from making money in school so I could pay my bullies so they wouldn't hit me. And so I realized that if I want to create some change, I've got to, so I started speaking. So I started speaking in more places, and it opened up some doors for me. I got on stages around the world, met some really amazing people, and it allowed some doors to open up for me, started speaking everywhere, and for me, that was my unlock. I started coaching people, I started mentoring people, and what I realized is I had a gift to be able to unlock potential inside of people, to be able to find out what people really wanted to do the most, and to be able to help them to achieve it. And that became my journey. We help people to be able to get off addictions, to increase their businesses, to be able to get over fears. And what I realized is there were certain patterns which were all the same. And in our businesses, the patterns are the same as well. So then as I started coaching business owners, I realized if we can shake up these patterns, if we can create these patterns, we can create the same results as well. And the first, and I'm going to explain to you what these are. So the first thing which I want everyone to understand is in life, there's something called a 1 second gap. And either tonight or tomorrow, we're going to talk more about this. These 1 second gaps are a moment in your life when you make a decision, when something changes. When you make a decision, things are never going to be the same again. Every moment in our life, we're making decisions. How can you make really, really quick decisions? And so the first thing is that whenever you're trying to create any change, the first thing which has to upgrade is your mindset. Okay, that's the first thing. We've got to be able to change that. You must have heard the saying that the same person which brought you here right now cannot be the same person to get you to your next level. So we've helped businesses, I'm talking about pounds here, and not in the local currency. We've helped them get from their first £100,000 to their first million to companies right now in Europe we're working with who our target is to make them an extra 2 billion this year. So we're kind of, but everyone follows the same thing. That the first thing is we've got to be able to get the mindset right. That right now, if you're earning $100,000, $1 million, whatever you are, the reason you're there is because that's the person you are right now. Your next level is a different version of you. And the only way we can create that person is by changing the way you think. Number two, when we change the way you think, then we have to have a new strategic set of goals for your business. And the way I look at it is if you look at your journey being a mountain, over here, if you had a mountain over here, and right now, if you're at the bottom, all you can see is the mountain. The vision of the new part of your business, your new team, the money that you want to make, everything, you can only see it when you're up here. So there's a journey you have to climb on. And that journey is this. That is, we upgrade the mind, you move up the mountain. When you move up the mountain, now you can see, and you can see new things. You're thinking in a different way. Then the second thing is that we create the new strategic goals for your business. Because right now, the strategic goals you have are very different from the goals you could have when you stand on top of the mountain. So the first journey is, if we can get inside your mind and get you to think totally differently, what happens is you start moving up this mountain and you start seeing things in a different place. And then we create a new set of strategic goals for your business. That may mean the next 1 or 2 zeros on your net worth on your business. Does that make sense so far? Say yes? Let's get louder, say yes? Fantastic, brilliant. Once we've got those new strategic goals, the next thing after that is we have to look at the belief patterns which are there in our mind. The only way in which we're going to be able to action these strategic goals is if our mind allows us to. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard of the saying, finish it for me, money doesn't grow on? Yeah? Let's try it again. Money doesn't grow on? Money is the root of all? Yeah? Money is the root of all evil. Money is the root of everything bad, right? Now, what does that mean? In our minds, if you look at our brain, if that was your brain, there's 2 parts of your brain. That's 5% there, and that's 95% there. This part is the conscious part of your mind. And this part is called the subconscious part. The conscious part of your mind, you only use it 5% of the time. And what that is we only think about what we think about 5% of the time, okay? Otherwise, everything else is done over here. Our whole life is run over here. The beliefs that we have about the things around us because of what we've seen, they're all stored here. And one of the beliefs, if we know inside of us that money doesn't grow on trees, that's a belief that we have because someone in the past has told us that. What that means is that actually means that, money is hard to come by. And imagine trying to grow a business when internally we know that money is hard to come by. Or when we know that the more money we get, the more evil it is, the worse it is. And so what we need to do is we need to then make sure that the subconscious part of our mind is aligned with the strategic goals that we have in our business, the new strategic goals. Because we need to have some really powerful beliefs here. Like where making money is easy. Money is a beautiful thing to have because the more I have, the more I can give, the more I can serve, the more I can do, the more I can become. Like we need to be able to have some really powerful beliefs in there. So the first thing is getting up the mountain, creating that mindset. Number 2 is creating some new strategic goals for our business. Number 3 is creating these new beliefs, finding out the old ones which are there, putting in really good new ones. And the 4th one is where we then, now because we've got that, is to now create an extremely powerful action plan of how you can get to your new strategic goals. That'll be things you've never done before, things you've never thought of doing before. But that's where the new revenue lies. That's where the new customers lie. That's when the innovation lies. That's where the new market lies. So for me, the journey that we're going to take you on over the next few days is over here. Now, there's so many more things to go into detail, but I wanted to give you an overview and have some time for some questions, that this is the journey that we're going to be on. Number 1, to take you on a journey to be able to empower your mind. Then we can start seeing new things. We can now really start creating some powerful goals for you, your business, your family, your health, your whole life. Then after that, let's look at the beliefs that you have, the ones which are not serving you. Let's start getting rid of them. Let's put some new powerful ones in there. It's like changing a computer program in your mind. Something really powerful. And then number 4, let's create a really good action plan. An action plan now, which you can go be able to action this. The one thing which we need to know is, and again, we're going to touch on this a lot, possibly this evening or over the next few days, is these are the 3 zones in our life. This one is the comfort zone. Okay? How many of you, show of hands, sometimes feel you're kind of in your comfort zone at the moment? Things are good, it's okay, like things are pretty steady. Show of hands. Anyone in the comfort zone here? Okay, not many people, but that's fine. This next one is called your stretch zone. Science shows us that the more time we can live in here, in the stretch zone, where you're doing new things, the more you're going to learn. And also, your comfort zone then starts to expand over here. So your comfort zone very quickly becomes your stretch zone. But here's doing new things which you've never done before. Then there's this new zone over here called we can call it the freedom zone. It's actually called the panic zone, but I call it the freedom zone. Most people don't like the word panic. But that's where all the greatness happens. Everything that you want, the money you want, the life you want, the business you want, it all lies here. This is a really tough place to be. This is where you're doing things you've never done before. You now start looking at risk in a different way. You take opportunities you've never taken before. And over the journey of the next few days, I want us to be able to go from here, over here, and make sure we're very, very comfortable living over here. So that's an overview of what the next few days are going to be about. And I wanted to spend a few minutes to answer any questions you have, any things you wanted to know. And then we're going to be here, wherever they understand, please, I'd love to meet each and every one of you. But we're going to be running some talks every day on how your journey can pan out from there. So does anyone have any questions? Anything? Any questions at all? Everyone's happy with this? Please. Can I grab your mic? Thank you.
Do you think what you are teaching us is applicable in whatever part of this world?
Great question. Absolutely. 100%. Absolutely. Business is business. And what here we're looking at is your performance, individual, your performance as a CEO, the performance of how you get the best out of you and your team, right? So wherever in the world you are, whatever business you have, wherever you're trying to get to, this is about you. Yeah? So 100%. Anyone else? Over here. Can we have the mic?
These transitions depend a lot on the risk factor that you're capable of taking.
Yes.
It's not a blanket movement.
100%. Yes. So, depending on where you are over here, everything is extremely individual. So over here, there's going to be some concepts that this is where we need to go, the mountain we need to climb, the things we need to do. But each and every business is going to have its own nuances and what that means for that business. So hopefully over the next few days, we'll get a bit of time to sit down. Let me find out more about the business. Let's find out what the biggest challenges are. Let's find out what your next level is, the hurdles we're hitting, the glass ceilings we've got, and how to get past them. And then we make a tailored blueprint for you. Make sense?
As they say, nothing is permanent except change.
100%. Nothing is permanent except change. Yes, absolutely. Anyone else? Perfect. Can I pass the mic back over to you?